With the recent cinema release of the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, I thought why not go back and rank all of the currently existing sets based on both the Mandalorian TV show and the new movie, so this is exactly what we will be doing in today's video. As always, this ranking only resembles my opinion and is not a definitive list. If you have a different ranking, please tell me in the comments down below, I'd love to hear some of your thoughts. I chose to exclude all UCS sets as well as helmet sets from the ranking since I feel like they are too different to really compare them to the average playset cause of higher budget or different appeal. We still have 31 sets to go over, so hit like and subscribe to support the channel, and now let's get straight into the ranking. And on the 31st spot, and with that the in my opinion worst set on this list, we have 75443 Grogu's Homestead. It's a 4+ set, so it didn't have a good chance anyway, but this set is still one of the most random things I've seen from LEGO so far. I don't know who this is for, cause I doubt that kids would like a set without figures, and the $20 price point makes it even worse. Quickly moving on to the 30th spot, and here we have 75410, the 4+ Mando and Grogu's N1 Starfighter. This set looks absolutely horrible even for a 4+ set, and the $30 price tag is once again way too high. It at least comes with some cool figures, so it's a little better than the previous 4+ set, but it still kinda sucks. If you've already been watching this channel for some time, you probably know that I'm not a fan of microfighters, and so it only makes sense that spot number 29 goes to 75321, the Razor Crest Microfighter. It includes Mando, a figure that pretty much every household with LEGO in it already owns, and it comes with this very ugly looking build of a Razor Crest. I just don't like it at all. Slightly better, but still bad, on spot number 28 we have set 75363, the Mandalorian N1 Starfighter Microfighter. The build looks slightly better than the previous one did, but since the set includes Grogu, LEGO thought they could charge $16 for 88 pieces, which is ridiculous. If the second figure would have been a normal minifig, okay I guess, but for Grogu $6 more? Nah, not with me. On spot number 27 we finally have a real set, and it's 75346 Pirate Snubfighter. Just by itself it's actually a pretty decent set, the build looks really solid, even kinda cool, and the figures are alright as well. That being said though, I don't think that anybody would have been sad if this set didn't exist. It's a really unimportant ship in the 3rd season of The Mandalorian, and I would rather spend those $35 on something else. Spot number 26 goes to a set that I kind of like, but the price sadly ruined it. 75444 AT-AT attack comes with 2 decent builds, 3 minifigures, the coolest of which is obviously the Remnant AT-AT driver, and the other 2 are just your typical Mando and Grogu. All of this sounds pretty good, but the price of $45 is just insane for what you're actually getting. If the price was different, I would have put it higher, but like this, no, it's just way too much. Another Mando movie set on spot number 25, and it's 75445 Anzellan Starship. Don't get me wrong, the Anzellan ship is once again not bad, but I just don't see any reason to really buy it. It's very overscaled, comes with 3 super small minifigs that amount to the size of one regular minifig, and LEGO wants you to pay $75 for it, which in my opinion is not worth it for what you get. Sticking with the Mandalorian and Grogu, on spot number 24 we got 75451 Hutt Palace Sentry Droid Showdown. Let's be honest, the only real reason to buy this set is the inclusion of Embo and Kaibu. The rest of the set is a small door and one of the 2 droids that are in the scene, and the one they made looks really ugly. As I said, the main reason anyone buys this set are the 2 minifigures, and while those are really good, it's not enough to justify a higher spot on this list. Slowly but surely, approaching the top 20, on spot number 23 we have yet another set that you only buy for minifigures, and this time it's 75361 Spider Tank from Mando Season 3. While the Spider Tank is a solid build that actually looks good, majority of the reason to buy this set is the phenomenal Bo-Katan. Granted, she comes with arm printing, a wonderful helmet, a hairpiece and printed head underneath, as well as nice printing on torso and legs, and the set also comes with Mando that is arm printing plus Grogu, but those 3 minifigs can't really save the set. Yeah, the Bo-Katan fig is amazing and it's probably the best version of her currently existing, but it's still a mediocre set overall. One of the cutest builds on this list secured spot number 22, and it's 75403 Grogu with Hover Prime. I really like the idea of having Grogu displayed in his hover prime, as it creates a more interesting display instead of having the character all by himself, and it also allows for a bigger variety in display options. Since they wanted to keep the price at $100 though, and a lot of the parts obviously had to go towards the hover prime, the Grogu build doesn't look that good. For what it is, it looks okay, but that really isn't a nice representation overall, especially the mouth and ear area look pretty weird. Spot number 21 might be surprising for some of you, and that's because it's a battle pack. Set number 75373 Ambush on Mandalore looks pretty much like your average battle pack. You get 2 figures, 2 of which are Imperial Commandos and the other 2 are unique Mandalorians, one of which is a warrior and the other a Night Owl. I'm not the biggest fan of Mando Season 3, but it still doesn't stop me from liking the designs, and the Imperial Commando looks really badass. The build however looks super lackluster, just a bunch of leftover parts to create some terrain, and the two Mandos don't really make a lot of sense to army build since they should all look different. Yeah, it's just not that great. Spot number 20 goes to a set that pairs really well with the battle pack we just talked about, and it's obviously set number 75386, Paz Vizsla and Moff Gideon Battle. The build is okay, at least a solid base for some mocks I've seen, and the figures are also pretty cool, but they come with a lot of flaws. Mainly because Lego cheaped out on capes, cause Moff Gideon should have had one, like the previous version already had, and the two Praetorian Guards should have had some soft goods like waist capes as well. With a price of $40 for only 289 pieces of a pretty small build, this should have easily been within the budget, from what I can tell. Next up, on spot number 19, we have set number 75437, Cobb Vanth Speeder. You get some of the most phenomenal minifigures in the set, being Cad Bane in his live action appearance, who comes with amazing printing, a nice model piece for his tubes and arm printing, as well as Cobb Vanth, who comes with super detailed printing, an awesome helmet, a face print and swap out hairpiece, and you get arm printing as well, which looks phenomenal. I'm also a fan of the Speeder build, which really pops on your shelf with its vibrant colors, but unfortunately LEGO ruined this great set once again with the price tag. $35 for 207 pieces and 2 minifigures is just way too much, no matter how good the figures or the build really are. A pretty similar set managed to secure spot number 18, and it's another Speeder. This time I'm talking about 75436, the Mandalorian and Grogu speeder bike, and while I'm pretty tired of seeing both Mando and Grogu in any new LEGO set, I'm a big supporter of the idea behind this set. For $10 you get a pretty good looking speeder and 2 minifigures, which is really cool. I'd love it if LEGO would return to those cheaper minifig packs that it did with Clones and Hoth Rebels, or even the really old OG sets where you had a small build and 2 to 3 minifigs for a small price. Spot number 17 is almost the same set, just with some additional extras. Set number 75299, Trouble on Tatooine, also comes with a speeder plus Mando and Grogu, but it also includes a little hut and ballista with a Tusken Raider. Nowadays the set isn't as exciting anymore, since both Mando and Grogu come in a plethora of sets, but back when the set came out, it was a pretty good opportunity to get them without having to pay all too much money for it. Moving on to spot number 16, and here we have 75318, The Child. This buildable character came out when we didn't know how Grogu was called, but the build still holds up if you ask me. Since they've used all 1000 pieces on Grogu himself, he also looks significantly better than the one that came with the pram, and I really like the inclusion of the little knob that he always played with in the Razor Crest. Overall a solid and cute display set, but nothing major. Spot number 15 is almost identical, just a little updated, and it's 75446 Grogu Mandalorian Apprentice. It's one spot higher because it uses more modern building techniques, and because they've included some of his armor pieces, it looks arguably cooler than the first version. I especially like the print of the Maton on his chest plate. It looks really awesome and is an amazing inclusion. Getting back to some playsets, on spot number 14 there is 75325, The Mandalorians and One Starfighter, which technically is based on the Book of Boba Fett, just like the Cobb Vanth set, but I thought it would make sense to include it within this ranking. Figure-wise, it's solid as you get your standard Mando and Grogu, but also Pelimoto and a BD droid, which are some nice inclusions. The build of the N1 is alright, nothing spectacular, but it does its job well enough. One of the early Super Battle Packs made it onto spot number 13, and it's 75324 Dark Trooper Tech, which was a great way to army build the Dark Troopers, and it came with an awesome Luke Skywalker minifig. It's a decent set, but $35 was a ridiculous price tag for only 166 pieces and 4 minifigures, and LEGO included a ton of stickers with the set, which made it even worse, plus the build doesn't look that great to me. It's nice for the figures, but the rest, yeah, not so much. The only other set within this ranking that comes with a Jedi is the next one, and spot number 12 is 75378 Bark Speeder Escape. While I usually don't like speeder builds, this one looks really nice, especially the sidecar adds a nice touch. Grogu and the 2 501st Troopers are a little boring, but Killaren back looks amazing. 2 lightsabers automatically make any Jedi cooler, but the printing with the gold details in the cape make him really stand out among other Jedi. Not the most exciting set, and the Jedi Temple lamppost got memed a lot, but for $30 you can't really complain. Barely missing the top 10, on spot number 11 we have 75319, The Armorer's Mandalorian Forge, which is one of the rare occasions where I got scammed. Because when I bought this set used, it didn't came with the amazing looking minifigures, which once again are a heavy factor for buying this set, but besides the Armorer and Paz Vizsla, the set also comes with a pretty cool forge that can be displayed by itself with not looking all too bad. But now the actual spot number 10 is my favorite set from the newest Mando and Grogu sets, and it's 75447, The Razor Crest. The price of $150 for only 930 pieces is pretty ridiculous, but LEGO still managed to create a really good looking crest, even though it has been downsized quite significantly. Minifigure wise you get some highlights as well, and the coolest ones are obviously Colonel Ward and a new Garazeb Aurelius. Zeb was super expensive and hard to get since there was only one previous version of him in the Rebels Ghost, but the new one not only gets him back on shelf, but also gives him a super good looking unique head, awesome looking printing on torso, hips and legs, plus they gave him dual modded arms, which is absolutely amazing. Making our way into the single digits, on spot number 9 we have 75254 ATST Raider. Not only did it appear in the first season of The Mandalorian, which already puts it higher up on my list since it's my favorite one, but it overall is a pretty good set as well. I'm not a big fan of the color scheme, even though that's 100% accurate. I just prefer the standard Imperial colors, but the building techniques are super good, and purely judging by its shape, it's an amazing ATST. The figures are also pretty decent, especially the Durasteel Mando and Cara Dune are cool, but nothing to lose your mind over. Personally, I still would prefer an Imperial ATST over this one, but it still deserves the 9th place. The set on the 8th place kind of goes against any rules for battle packs, but for some reason I still like it a lot. Set number 75267 Mandalorian Battle Pack is not really perfect for army building, but the figures look absolutely stunning. Granted, you can switch around the different parts to create different looking Mandos, but it ultimately is a battle pack which should only have army buildable troopers instead of these unique looking Mandos. The speeder and the little side build are fine, stud shooters are a big downside, but the colors, printing and different capes really help the set. Spot number 7 is one of my absolute favorite vehicles in the whole Star Wars universe, which may have influenced its overall placement on the list, and I'm talking about 75459 Imperial Lambda Class Shuttle. I'm a big fan of the minifig lineup, which includes Mando, a regular Stormtrooper, a super cool looking Imperial Shuttle pilot, Dr. Ben Pershing and Moff Gideon with his Darksaber and double-sided cape. The build still can't hold up with the 2015 Return of the Jedi Shuttle, but it's a step towards the right direction. Sadly, the landing gear looks really goofy and the top fin is a little short, but besides that, it's a really solid model. Barely missing the top 5, on spot number 6 I've put 75460, the Republic X-Wing Starfighter. The minifigs are fairly basic with an astromech and to be fair two pretty cool pilots being Colonel Ward and Carson Teva, but I personally like the build of the X-Wing a lot. The Red 5 is obviously the most iconic one, but the blue and white color scheme is a very welcome breath of fresh air and the rest of the model looks really good to me as well. A figure more would have been nice, especially for $70, but that is really my only complaint. But now the actual spot number 5, and this set is based on one of the coolest appearances in the whole show. 75312 Boba Fett Starship is a really good model of the Slave One for a small price. The little transport cart can double as a display stand, which is super neat, and while there are only 2 minifigures in this set, it should have been 3 or 4, I still really like the set for what it is. Probably the most iconic set on this list takes spot number 4, and it's 75292, the original Razor Crest from 2020. A very neat minifigure lineup consisting of a Scout Trooper, sadly without his speeder bike, Grogu, Durasteel Mando, IG-11 and Greef Karga. The older Razor Crest is not only significantly bigger than the 2026 version, but it also resembles the shapes way better, it comes in my personally preferred color scheme, and I overall prefer the Season 1 and 2 look over the movie version. $140 still feels a little high for 5 minifigs and around 1000 pieces, but the set has a special place in my heart for some reason. Already making our way into the podium, on spot number 3 we have set number 75311 Imperial Armored Marauder. Coming in handy with 478 pieces, 4 minifigs for just $40, the Marauder also had one of the best builds from all sets ever released under the Mandalorian sub-theme. I love the shaping of the model and it actually was kinda army buildable since it's a tank and you got 2 stormtroopers, an amazing artillery stormtrooper with phenomenal printing and a pauldron, and the only figure that you couldn't really army build was Greef Karga, who still had some amazing printing though. The Marauder is also in both the build department as well as the minifig lineup, and I'm still a huge fan of it and happy I bought multiple when the set was on shelves. Closely missing the top spot, on the second place we have 75348 Mandalorian Fangfighter vs TIE Interceptor. If the Marauder was already good, the TIE Interceptor build is legendary. This is easily one of, if not the best playscale TIE ever made, and the Fangfighter looks super cool as well. I love these dual sets where you get 2 different starfighters cause it offers awesome playability for kids as well as a very nice display option for collecting adults. The minifig lineup is kinda forgettable as you get your normal Mando, a Mandalorian Fleet Commander, a TIE Pilot and an Imperial Astromech, but the 2 builds really save the set from being average. I love the design of the TIE Interceptor in Star Wars, and the set recreates it in an amazing way with Lego bricks. But now the number 1 spot, and with that the in my opinion best set based on the Mandalorian TV show or the Mandalorian Grogu movie is 75315 Imperial Light Cruiser. Not only is it cool to finally get a light cruiser instead of a full Star Destroyer, but Lego also managed to get most of the details and proportions right. The bridge might be a little oversized and the stickers on there are a no-go, but I love that this part doubles as a handle. The mini TIE fighters aren't that cool to play with, but they add some nice play features and add to the display effect. The interior space is pretty small and lackluster since there is nothing in the back, but for some reason I still really like the overall build. The minifig lineup really lacks some Dark Troopers since there's only one, but Grogu, Fennec Shand, Cara Dune, Mando and Moff Gideon nicely finish the lineup off. A couple more Dark Troopers and maybe even Luke would really do this set well, but I guess LEGO saved those for the quote-unquote battle pack. But what is your favorite set from The Mandalorian or the Mando and Grogu movie, and did you overall agree with my ranking, or do you beg to differ? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, I would be very interested to read them. Now I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would highly appreciate a like to support the channel. If you're new, go to the subscribe button, and if you want to check out some of my other videos, still appearing on screen right now.